This video is about how to play the right or left back position in the 3-1-4-2 formation, which is one of our formations this year. So let's start with the goal kick. For the goal kick, the right and left back should have their position based on where the defenders are. So if the defenders are very far back, then the right and left back can just set up in the space on the side here because they have plenty of space in front. There's no need for them to drop deep because there's nobody covering them, so they should move up higher if they can. They should try to get fairly wide if possible. The center back should be taking up a position here. And so depending on the center back's position, if the center back is shaded over towards the right back's position, then the right back should move as wide as possible in order to make sure that they have a passing lane. If, by chance, if the other team is playing up high, then that's a sign that the right and left back should drop deeper. And you might think, well, why are we dropping this deep? Well, actually it has two reasons. First of all, you can get the ball, but if the other team comes to press you, that opens up lots of space inside the middle of the pitch for the rest of the players. So remember that as you drop deep, you're pulling the opposition back, and that's opening up space for your teammates in the center of the pitch and might allow them to play out here. So you have provided a service for your midfielders by dropping deep. Once the team has the ball, depending on where you are, if you're the left back and you have space in front of you, you should bring the ball up. You should dribble it until they make you stop. And at that point, that's when you can make a decision about where you're going to pass next. For a left or right back, the best pass that you can make consistently is a pass on the ground into the striker's feet. Obviously, a pass to the defensive midfielder is great, pass to the left mid is great, pass to the attacking midfielder is great, but if you can, your first choice should be to play a pass on the ground fast into the feet of a forward. What this does is it cuts out all these levels. So player 10, player 11, all these midfielders, you can basically skip over them. You can play two levels in one pass. And if you have a good forward who's able to find that pocket of space, then you should be able to do this. And that opens up some nice combination plays that they can do by getting that ball right into the forward's feet. This isn't a ball over the top into space behind. Maybe once in a while that might be worthwhile, but generally the best pass that you can look to consistently do is one that goes into the forward's feet. As a left back or right back, since you're on the side of the pitch, you have to make decisions pretty fast or else you're going to get closed down. So generally, if you're not able to make that forward pass, the next option is to look to play into the midfield, or you can look to play wide. Playing with the midfielders is very important because it's very predictable if the ball goes out to the left back and left back to the left mid. And as you travel down the line, it's fairly easy for the other team to close you down. That's why we look to play with the middle if we can. The left back should know that they have several midfield options. Attacking midfielder, at least one, and the defensive midfielder. The defensive midfielder should be positioned either diagonally forward or diagonally back. If the midfielder is positioned here, you have to be careful passing to them because this pass can be easily cut off. If none of those passes to the middle or wide is available, then that's when you should look to play back. The center back should not be horizontal with you. The center back should be farther back and diagonal. So if you have trouble and you don't have a pass into the middle, that pass goes back to the center back, who can then switch the play or find somewhere else. Defensively, when the team is up high on the pitch, actually we can talk about how you should be positioned when our team is in possession. If the left midfielder has the ball in the opponent's half, then you as a left back need to make sure that you are positioned so that you can receive. You're close enough so that you can receive a back pass, but not too close that you're crowding into that space. So a good amount of distance would mean that if the left midfielder needs a back pass, you're there. If you're too close to the center of the field, then it's really hard for them to make that pass to you. It can be cut off. So you want to be as wide as you can to maintain that passing lane. If your team loses the ball, then this is a time to get tight together with the back three to form a high line altogether. What this does is it makes it difficult for the other team to play through, and it forces them wide or back. By being here, you're also compressing the space and making it easy for the other players to go offside. It also allows you to buy time and slow down the play so that the rest of your team can get back and try to win the ball back. If the ball gets switched over to the other side of the field, then that's a sign that as a team, as a group, the back three should move over. If a player is coming down the side, then it does become a one-on-one situation and you can go. The center back and the left back, though, should cover in your space to make sure. If the center back goes for the ball, then the left and right back should close behind them to close that really vulnerable space.